Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from 7 Group. My name is Mumtazan Aini Rahma Ramadana and my friend is Frilena Faradila. Today we will presentations our discussions. The material is Pragmatic Cooperative Principle. The first is Pragmatic. Pragmatics is about explain how we produce and understand such everyday, but apparently rather particular uses of language. It means that pragmatics, the study, explain how to produce utterance and comprehend what people say in daily conversations, although maybe they use unfamiliar language. Jadi, pragmatik ini merupakan studi yang menjelaskan kepada kita bagaimana menghasilkan tuturan dan memahami apa yang dikatakan orang dalam percakapan sehari-hari, meskipun mungkin mereka menggunakan bahasa asing. Number 2 is cooperative principle. Grace, 1975, the idea that people cooperative with each other in conversing is generalized. The speaker is cooperative and intend to communicate something. The something must be more than what the words mean. It leads to implicator. There is a set of guidelines of effective and rational use of language. Guidelines mean a general cooperative principle plus 4 maxim of conversations. Cooperative principle consists of limited set of conversational maxim to which Grace maintain interest in a conversation exchange but frequently do not adhere. The next is Grace maxim. Grace maxim consists 4 maxim. The first is maxim of quantity. The second is maxim of quality, the third maxim of relations, and the last is maxim of manner. Number 1 is maxim of quantity. In this maxim, we must make the contributions as informative as is required for the current purpose of the exchange, and don't make our contributions more informative than is required. For the example, Ira asks, "What is your job?" and Bima answered, "I'm teacher." In this utterance, what Bima say is informative for what Ira asks. When Ira asks about Bima's job, Bima answer, "Teacher," and is a no because this message is delivered. Jadi, dalam maksim ini, kita harus memberikan kontribusi seinformatif mungkin yang diperlukan dan jangan membuat kontribusi ini lebih informatif dari apa yang dibutuhkan. Seperti contoh tadi, dalam ucapan ini, apa yang dikatakan Bima informatif, apa yang ditanyakan Aira. Saat Aira bertanya tentang pekerjaan Bima menjawab guru, dan itu cukup karena pesannya telah tersampaikan. Number 2 is maxim of quality. In this maxim, don't say what you believe to be false and don't say that for which you lack adequate evidence. For the example, Rudy asking, "Is Australia in Europe?" and Fanny answer, "No, but Australia in Asia." From the example, Fanny gives statement with maxim of quality because she say the truth with adequate evidence. Jadi, dalam maksim quality ini, jangan katakan apa yang kamu yakini salah dan jangan mengatakan bahwa kamu kekurangan bukti. Intinya, apa yang dikatakan itu benar. Contoh dari kalimat tadi, dari contoh Fanny memberikan pernyataan yang bermutu karena dia mengatakan yang sebenarnya dengan bukti yang memadai. Number 3 is maxim of relational. In this maxim, people contributions engaged in conversational should be relevant to the subject of the conversation. For the example, Paddy asks, "Have you finished your thesis?" and Shirley answered, "Yes, I have." From the example, Paddy only need the Shirley answer yes or no. Shirley answer related to Paddy question. She has said something what she should say. Jadi, dalam maxim relation ini, kontribusi orang-orang yang terlibat dalam percakapan ini harus relevan dengan subjek. Dari contoh tersebut, Paddy hanya membutuhkan jawaban Shirley ya atau tidak. Dan jawaban Shirley relate dengan pertanyaan Paddy. And number 4, maxim of manner. In this maxim, how the speaker use the language to convey the message. Avoid obscurity of expressions, avoid ambiguity, be brief, and be orderly. For the example, Randy asks, "Where are you going?" and George answers, "I'm going to buy something to put on a ladder." For the example, George explores his purpose to go. There is not ambiguity or obscurity in his utterance. He also answers in a brief utterance. Jadi dalam maxim of manner ini menjelaskan bagaimana pembicara menggunakan bahasa untuk menyampaikan pesannya, juga dan kita juga harus menghindari ketidakjelasan ekspresi dan menghindari ambiguitas. Selain itu, kata di situ harus singkat dan tertib. Seperti contoh yang sudah tertera tadi, dari contoh di atas, George mengeksplorasi tujuan untuk pergi, dan itu tidak ada ambiguitas untuk ketidakjelasan dalam ucapannya. Dia juga menjawab dengan ucapan singkat. The next is violations. Violations take place when speaker intentionally refer to apply certain maxim in their conversation to cause misunderstand on their participants' part or achieve some other purpose. Jadi, violation ini merupakan pelanggaran yang terjadi ketika pembicara dengan sengaja menahan diri untuk tidak menerapkan maxim tersebut dalam percakapan sehingga menyebabkan kesalahpahaman di pihak partisipan. Selanjutnya, violations maxim of quantity. Violations of quantity maxim can occur in a speech if the speech partner doesn't respond according to the contributions needed by the speaker. The maxim quantity is related to quantity of providing the informations. For the example, A asking, "What is your name?" and B answer, "My name is Kenan. I was born on November 27, 1998 and I have 2 sisters." In this example, this situation occurs in a teacher questions to his student. In this speech, A as a teacher or speaker and B as a student or speech partner. Where A asks the name only to the question, "Who is your name?" What is your name? In the utterance, B do not obey the spoken norm. B answer not according to the opportunity needed by the speaker. Thus respond B uncooperative because this answer give is inadequate for the needed by A. Therefore, based on that, B violates the quantity maxim. Jadi, dalam violation maxim quantity ini, pelanggaran maksim kuantitas dapat terjadi dalam suatu percakapan jika partisipan tidak merespon suatu kontribusi yang dibutuhkan oleh pembicara. Maksim kuantitas terkait dengan kuantitas penyediaan. Dalam percakapan A sebagai guru atau pembicara dan B sebagai siswa atau partisipan, di mana A menyatakan nama hanya melalui pertanyaan "siapa namamu?" Dalam tuturan, B tidak menaati norma lisan, yaitu menjawab tidak sesuai porsi yang dibutuhkan pembicara. Dengan demikian, respon B tidak kooperatif karena jawaban yang diberikan kurang dari yang dibutuhkan oleh A. Oleh karena itu, berdasarkan itu B melanggar maxim of quantity. Number 2 is violations maxim of quality. The maxim of quality is related to the third value of the utterance. For the example, teacher say, "Andi, what is the capital city of Bali?" And Andi answer, "Surabaya, sir." Teacher say, "Good. That means the capital city of East Java is Denpasar, right?" In the example above, it appears that a teacher contribute in the violations of quality maxim. The teacher say the capital of East Java is Denpasar instead of Surabaya. This answer that didn't have to quality maxim was expressed as a reaction to Andy's wrong answer. With this answer, Andy, who has communicative competence, with 6 answers to which the teacher made a false statement. So, there is pragmatics reactions why the teacher in the example above made a contributions that deviates from the quality maxim.
Okay, I will continue our explanation about Cooperative principle. Before that, my name is Friana Faradila and I will explain about relation of relation. The maxim of relation is related to the correlation between one utterance and other utterance. The speaker and the interlocutor must have the same perception in communication. In here, the example is speaker A, where is the kitty? B, I miss you too. The content of the situation in the speech is about A, who has just returned home after leaving for quite a while. A did not find the whereabouts of his cat. When A has researched his house for the cat, A meets with B. The definition of the maxim of relevance is seen when B answers A's question irrelevantly. So, B answer A's question irrelevantly. You can look at this example when A and asking and B answer I miss you too. Implication of the conversation appear of the speech about the statement B that means his brother who had not been at home for some time. In this example, it not conduct a irrelevant conversation, so B is out of context. And the next is okay, continue to violation maxim of manner. The maxim of manner is related to the way the utterance is produced. A violation of the manner maxim committed by the speech participant if the delivery of speech is unclear, taxa, or not coherent. In this example is A, let's open it together, and B, wait, it's still frozen. The conversation above has a low level of clarity. And because it has a low level of clarity, then the level of blurring is naturally high. Speech A does not provide clarity about what is actually requested by the speech partner B. It can be said that because the speech delivered by B contains a fairly high degree of words, such utterance can be said to violate the principle of cooperation because they do not adhere to the manner maxim. And then we go on to the floating maxim. The definition of floating maxim is sometimes the speaker infringes the cooperative principle. It is called as the floating maxim. What the speaker literally says is not what he or she intends to convey. Okay, we go on to the floating maxim of quantity. What is floating maxim of quantity? When the speaker gives more information than the hearers need or the less information which is given by speaker. In here, the example is Ara, do you have brother? And Fahri say, yes, I have. My brother now is going to America. In this conversation, Farid does not answer the Ara's question proportionally because Fahri gave more information about his brother. So my brother is going America can be deleted. And then floating maxim of quality. What is floating maxim of quality? When the speaker speaks something that is not true. Now in here, the example is Clara. What is the capital of England? And Antu said Amsterdam. And Clara said, and Paris is the capital of Indonesia. From the example above, is identified that Anto flaunted the maxim of quality. He does not observe Maxim. He does not say truly, but he has no intention in deceiving and misleading the other person. So, Anto cannot prove that capital of England is Amsterdam, and Clara keeps misleading. He say that Paris is capital of Indonesia. Okay, the next is floating maxim of relation. When the speaker and hearer give response which has not relation with the topic of conversation, is called floating maxim of relation. We can highlight this give, give response which has not relation with the topic of conversation. In here, the example. Librarian just using sign, raise his eyes, look at the student with no facial expression. And student, hi, could you check for me whether I have any books to collect? And librarian just using sign, swipe the student's card, clear his throat, wipe his nose with tissue, glance at the computer screen, turn to the shelf to get a book, stamp, then all with return date. Student say, is that all? And the librarian, are you going to borrow all the books in the library? Student, okay, I see, thank you very much. And in this example, the librarian does not answer verbally. The librarian just use code or sign. You can look at this example, it's just using sign. When the student asks about something, the librarian answer by asking to. You can look at this example. When the student asks, the librarian answer by asks to. It's called by floating maxim of relation, and then floating maxim of manner. What is floating maxim of manner? When the speaker of the hearer give response ambiguity and unclear. In here, the example is Kate. Do you know Jason and Bill? He is a bestseller. In here, based on the Oxford Advanced Learner's Dictionary, egg edition, bestseller has two different meanings. The first one is the people who have not gotten married. Meanwhile, the second meaning are people who have certainty tree. So, in this conversation, Bill answer with ambiguity. Okay, we continue to implicator. Implicator is the additional of or different meaning in an utterance. According to Chris, implicator is an inferred meaning, typically with a different logical form from the original utterance. It means that some of here have different inferred meaning to the speaker utterance. In here, implicator can be divided into two kinds, conventional implicator and number two is conversational implicator. And in conversational implicator, it divided into two kinds, generalist and particularist. And in generalist consists of scalar. And then we go on to the conventional implicator. Conventional implicators are associated with specific words and result in additional convert meaning when those words are used. The English conjunction but is one of these words. The characteristic of conventional implicator can be seen into yet, but, even. In here, the example is Mary suggested black, but I choose white. In this example, is used but. It can be called by a conventional implicator. Okay, and the next is conversational implicator. The basic assumption in conversation is that the participants are adhering to the cooperative principle and the Maxim. In here, example is wife. I hope you bought the bread and the cheese. And husband, I booked the bread. In this case, the husband does not mention the cheese. Then he must intend that the wife infer what is not mentioned was not bought. The husband has confirmed more than he has said via a conversational implicator. So in here, husband just say bread, but in here, wife, eggs, bread, and cheese. And then conversation divided into two, and number one is generalist conversation implicator. It refers to implicator whose meaning are inferable without anchoring it in specific content. The specific it can defined by a or an. In here, the example is John went into a house and found a tortoise in front of a door. The example might infer that John has gone into a house which is not his, because A has characteristic of general. At least this is implicit meaning of the A plus noun phrase. And then the scalar implicator. When a person uses a word from a set word that express some kind of scale of values. Example words such as all, most, many, some, and few, always, often, sometime, certain, probable, possible, do badly, forecast, do well is an example of scale of values. In here, example is I'm doing a MA and I have completed some of required subject. So A in here get implicator not all, because in this example use some. The meaning of some is not all. That is, I have cancelled out most, many, and all in the particular scale of values. We may also correct a scalar implicator while we are talking to cancel out a particular implicator, as in I have completed some of required subject. Actually, I have completed all of them. It's called by scalar implicator. Okay, the last is particularist. Particularist conversational implicator. It refers to an implicator which is detectable only in specific content. In here, the example is speaker A, where is the cat? Where is the fish? And B answer, the cats look very happy. We all know that cat eat fish, and when a cat has fish, it feels satisfied. Speaker B says, think this because he assumes that it is commonsensical that all cats eat fish and all cats look happy after eating fish, and that he understands that speaker A has this common sense. So, particulars is when the conversational become more specific content. And okay guys, that's all our explanation about cooperative principle. I hope you all can understand what we explained, and thank you for your attention, and see you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.